Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Monday. Hi, you guys. Thank you for joining me today. On Mondays, I like to come on here and I give you your market update. Excuse me one second while I just take care of. All right. Thank you for joining me today. So on Mondays, I like to come on here and give you your market update. So today is no different. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit and giving you some tips if you are a buyer. I'm also going to be sharing where we're at as a market as a whole, where we're coming at so far in November. And then also, if you're a seller, I'm going to give you some tips. If you're thinking about selling your home, how can you prepare as we enter into these fall and winter months? So let's get started. All right. Thank you guys for joining me today. On Mondays, I like to give you all the information that you know about the real estate market here in Cleveland, Ohio. Some of the information pertains to just the real estate market in general, but I like to give you all of the information so you're prepared no matter if you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate. So if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Andrea Wilson. I'm the broker at Brickhouse Realty. We are a full service real estate brokerage here in Northeast Ohio. We work with buyers, we work with sellers, and we work with real estate investors. We teach you guys, we help people get their real estate license and so much more. So please continue to connect with us. I am going to share my screen with you guys. And if you happen to have any questions during all of this, please go ahead and type it in the chat section so I can answer those questions for you. All right, I'm sharing my screen. And so the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is if you are thinking about buying a home and how to prepare for a lockdown, trying to purchase a home. And if you are in Ohio and in many of the other states, we are starting to see that they are starting to go back into a lockdown. Our restaurants, our nightclubs, our gyms, there's a threat that all of these facilities are going to start locking down, or we're back into quarantine mode. And so this will have a trickle down effect if you are working somewhere and potentially you could be out of work, especially if you are in the restaurant industry, you're working in one of these gyms. So I want to give you guys some tips as we kind of prepare for this ahead of time if you are on pace or en route to purchase a home. So the first things first is I want you guys to focus in on your budget. It is so important. Even though if you're here in Ohio, the announcement has not been made yet, we need to start thinking about that and preparing ourselves for what it could be. So as part of that budget, I need you guys to go back to your bank statements this month, last month, and see, are there any services or automatic payments that are coming out of your bank account that you don't necessarily need, you're not using? Do you have Netflix, Hulu, and a cable network? Is there something that you can like cut back on? So try to eliminate any of those extra expenses. And I know for months at a time, we kind of cut back our expenses because we were all in the house at that point. And now we've started to get back to somewhat being normal, maybe eating out a little bit more. Now is a time you have to cut back, go back to when we didn't have an option and we had to cook at home more and just do these things for at least the rest of the year. We want to continue to work and move as if we are completely broke. We want to make sure that we are saving and preserving as much cash as possible. Although the new administration that's coming into the White House has a different approach, so maybe that will get us through this period a little bit. So if you're thinking about owning a home, you make sure that you are definitely still putting away money into your savings account, but try to eliminate some of those extra expenses that you have. Secondly, if you have a job, a lot of people are always on the fence, always looking for another job. Hold on to your job at least through the end of this year and then see what 2021 brings us. So hold on, do not quit your job. Stay in that job as long as possible. I know sometimes we get a little antsy, but we want to keep that stability. At least you know that you have a job. You know what that job is currently offering you. So you just have to keep it together and then just work through that as much as possible. The other thing that I want you guys to focus on, I'm not sure what happened here, but the other thing that I want you guys to focus on here, I don't know what's going on here. The other thing that I want you guys to focus on while I try to figure this thing out is that I want you to think about changing your deductions on your pay stub. It's important for you to think about doing that because you all have, maybe you have some dependents, or you're taking out higher amounts of money for dependents. You want to try to or claim more dependents now so you can bring in more money into your household. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me here. So I want you to think about changing your deductions with your employer. I'm just going to leave this here for now. Change your deductions with your employer just because we want to try to bring in as much cash as possible into your household. Bringing in more cash into your household allows you to be able to carry any, when your job does cut back, you'll have that cash in pocket. So that extra cash comes in, you put it away into savings as we plan for this. The other thing is to try to get back to work as soon as possible. So if your job does kind of put you on furlough or whatever, check in with your job and try to get back to work as quickly as possible. For some of us, it's kind of like, oh, great, I needed a much needed break. But we really have to get back to work, especially if you're thinking about buying a home. Although I'm hoping that the underwriters will forgive a lot of the inconsistencies this year through most of 2020 because of the coronavirus, but we don't know what those underwriters are going to do when they see that there may be some inconsistencies in your work. So you want to try to get back to work as soon as possible so it doesn't affect any potential plans that you have with buying a home. And then lastly, I want you guys, if you are working a traditional 9-to-5 job, I want you to consider starting your own business. And when I say starting your own business, it can be a small, just side hustle, maybe something that you're already good at. Maybe you like to do hair, on the side. Maybe you like to make clothes, sell clothes, whatever it is, consider doing that. Being an Uber driver or Instacart, I hear is really good. That's the grocery delivery. Consider doing this to have that extra stream of income coming in. So for most of your lenders, they're going to need to see that for a period of 2 years, potentially, to be able to include that. But it's best to start now so that you're building this additional income that you can go ahead and use as you are planning to buy a home. So I'm going to try to share my screen again. Hopefully we're not having the same issue. I want to give you guys a breakdown. This is a breakdown of what here we go. This is a breakdown for Cuyahoga County, looking at it by the numbers. So the number of home sales so far for November, we're at 668. The average sale price is $186,721. Number of new listings is 932, and the average days on market is 43. To me, as I'm looking at this, I would have to go back and look at September and October numbers. I believe based on where we're at right now, the 668 for this time to be midway through the month is a little low in comparison to where we have been. So what that is saying is the market is starting to slow down. The market was very hot. A lot of offers coming in on properties going very quickly. That still is happening, but looking at this number is showing me that the market is starting to slow down a little bit. So if you are a seller and you're thinking about selling your home, you better jump into this market before we lose all of the momentum that we were just seeing. So that average sale price has also dropped in comparison to where we were at in October. We could start to see this go up as we get closer to the end of the month, but that average sale price is starting to go down. Same thing, number of new listings, which is kind of typical for this time of year. As we start to go into the fall/winter months, we do normally see a decline during this time. Although we would like to see this increase, especially now, or we anticipated this to increase just because of all of the people that held back from selling their home a few months ago because of the pandemic and everything else that was going on. We were hoping to see in this final quarter that this number would increase dramatically. And then the average days on market has also increased by a couple of days. So again, if you're thinking about selling your home, you do not want to miss out on the potential increase in value that we were seeing there. So if you are thinking about selling your home, I want to give you guys a few tips to prepare for a fall/winter sale. There's some things that you have to think about when placing your home on the market. Number one, as always, this is throughout the year, you want to make sure that you declutter and clean your home. This is important when you come in, clean out, if you have kids, toys. You have to remember, some people go in with the mindset of is like, well, I still have to live here. But the goal is for you to sell your home, right? And for you to move on to another home. So you have to detach yourself from that home, and you have to make it where another person could see themselves living there and not see you as the one living there. So it's important to declutter and clean up as much as possible. And then number two, visible house numbers. During this time of year, it's very dark outside. And if you don't have visible numbers, it's kind of frustrating as agents and clients trying to look for your home. So maybe it's time to refresh those house numbers, either by placing them with some reflective numbers on maybe your mailbox or on the house, but make it easy for people to see your address. And then upgrade your lighting. This is for interior and exterior. Exterior is very important. Again, during this time of year, between 5 and 5:30, it starts to get really dark. So if people are out and about, the lighting is important for walkways, seeing the address on the home. And then as we enter the house, it's important to have enough lights throughout the house, because we're going into rooms from time to time and there's not enough ample light. Rooms start to look dark and dreary, and we want to give the vibe of it being a bright, vibrant home where, again, these buyers can see themselves and their family living in this house. A quick tip that you can do is update the hardware, especially on like kitchen cabinets. You may not have the budget to upgrade your kitchen cabinets, but you want to try to focus on maybe just upgrading the hardware. The hardware on that cabinet can go a long way if you decide to do this, something a little bit more modern. That's just a little added touch to it. You can also do this in your bathroom if you have drawers, or maybe if you don't even have any hardware at all, just go ahead and grab some hardware, add that to your kitchen cabinets or to your bathroom drawers to give it a nice little updated look. Another area that you want to try to focus on is refresh the backsplash that's in your kitchen. Some of the backsplashes are a little outdated or no backsplash at all. Again, that's a quick little tip on something that you can do. Some of the backsplashes now, you can actually, it's just like an adhesive that's on the back, so you don't even have to call a maintenance guy or a contractor out to do the work. It's just an adhesive. The front side will even look like tile. You can kind of stick that up there to give it a nice little look. And then, as always, if you ever have any questions, we are here to help you. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel so we can answer any questions that you have. All right, I just want to check to see if anyone has put any questions out there. Nope, I don't see any questions. So that is your market update for Monday, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, like, subscribe, share this channel. I will be back later this week. I'm going to talk a little bit more on investing in real estate and preparing for that. So thank you guys for joining me today. Sorry about that technical problem. I'm not even sure if you can see that on your end, but thank you guys for joining me today. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you again later this week. Have a good day.